I always forget.
Good morning. This is Chair French, and I am convening the regular business meeting of the Kansas Corporation Commission for this Thursday, January 4th, joined by my colleagues, Commissioner Keene and Commissioner Keither. On today's agenda, we have 18 consent agenda items and 2 noticed orders. Commissioners, we will move first to those consent agenda items. You've had the opportunity to review everything on the consent agenda. Let me ask you at this time if you have any questions about those items, and I will begin with Commissioner Keither.
Not for me, thank you.
And Commissioner Keene.
No questions for me either. I'd move approval of the consent agenda.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve the consent agenda. Is there any further discussion on that motion? Hearing none, those in favor, please vote aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed, say no. The consent agenda is approved. We will now move into our 2 noticed items. Our first noticed item is in docket number 24 GIMT 459 GIT, and this is a proposed order opening general investigation and setting comment deadlines. Our presenter for this item is Mr. David Cohen. Good morning, David.
Good morning, Commissioners. On September 29th, 2023, in dockets 24 SNKT 299 DRS and 24 TWVT 300 DRS, both Twin Valley Telephone Company and Southern Kansas Telephone Company filed identical applications requesting Commission approval of a depreciation rate for fixed wireless equipment and towers. Neither asset had been previously included in the Commission's schedule of depreciation rates in docket 94 GIMT 082 DRS. On September 3rd, 2023, the Commission staff filed an identical report and recommendation in both applications. Commission staff pointed out that current depreciation rates are more than 25 years old and recommended rates be set on an interim basis until the Commission can evaluate a more complete general investigation into depreciation rates. On December 28th, 2023, the Commission issued an order adopting staff's report and recommendation. This order follows staff's recommendation to open a general investigation into depreciation rates applicable to the rural local exchange carriers known as RLECs. All RLECs are encouraged to participate and will be granted intervention after filing an entry of appearance. All interested RLECs shall file comments within 90 days as to what specific changes to depreciation rates should be made, if any. Within 180 days of this order, staff shall file responsive comments and recommendations. And I'm available for questions.
All right, thank you, David. Are there any questions on this item? And I will begin with Commissioner Keene this time.
No questions for me, thank you.
And Commissioner Keither.
No question. Just think it's probably time to look at this. Yeah. Thank you.
Do I have a motion?
I moved it.
Please go ahead, Commissioner Keither.
I move that we accept the report.
Second.
All right, we have a motion and a second to adopt the order in this docket. Is there any further discussion on that motion? Hearing none, those in favor, please vote aye.
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 Aye. Any opposed, say no. The order is approved. Thank you, David.
Thank you.
We now move to our second noticed item. This is in docket number 24 TRAM 456 PEN, and this is a proposed penalty order in that docket. Our presenter for this item is Mr. Hassan Latif. Good morning, Hassan.
Good morning, Commissioners. The penalty order before you arises out of a compliance review of DNF Trucking LLC, a common carrier which hauls grain, feed, hay, general freight, and bone meal, operating out of Garden City, Kansas. This investigation was conducted by Special Investigators Erica Pargas and Penny Fryback. The Special Investigators found 39 violations, and before you, a penalty order assesses 5 specific counts, resulting in $6,750 in total penalties. I'll briefly summarize the larger violations. They included a $500 fine for using a driver without a valid CDL to operate a CDL-required vehicle, a $2,000 fine for falsifying records of duty status, a $1,000 fine for failing to obtain a fuel permit after an interstate trip, and a $1,500 fine for exceeding the legal gross weight limit in Kansas of 85,000 pounds, of which there were 15 violations of this type that were discovered. Additionally, there were violations for failures of record keeping and the company's and failures of the company's drug and alcohol testing program, among other things. Staff believes the order appropriately assesses penalties against the carrier and recommends approval of the order. And I and staff are available for any questions you have.
Thank you, Hassan. Are there any questions on this item? And I will begin with Commissioner Keither
No,
and Commissioner Keen.
No questions. Thank you very much, Hassan, for that overview. I think it indicates the gravity of the violations here. And once again, I think I probably do not speak for myself alone. I think that I would commend both Penny and Erica again for being conscientious and paying attention to really important details that have a bearing on public safety. Having said that, I would move approval of the order.
thank you.
We have a motion and a second to approve the order as described in this docket. Is there any further discussion of that motion? Hearing none, those in favor, please vote aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed, say no. The order is approved. Thank you, Hassan. Thank you,
Thank you.
staff. We have now come to the conclusion of all the items noticed on today's agenda. If there's no further business to come before us this morning, I would entertain a motion to adjourn.
I move that we adjourn.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to adjourn. Those in favor, please vote aye.
Aye.
Aye. We're adjourned. Thank you. Take care, everyone.
Thanks.
Take care.